This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on The South Today, community safety concerns prompt a permanent change to State Highway 6 in central Otago. In a restoration effort almost as long as World War I, letters from soldiers of that period will soon be on display. And part of State Highway 87 was partially closed for a mystery that is still developing on a bridge. Kia ora, good evening, I'm Craig Story. The New Zealand Transport Agency is proposing a permanent change in speed limit on a section of State Highway 6 between Frankton and the Lower Shotover River. The proposal is the result of increased traffic volumes and safety concerns that have been raised by the community.
These motorists travelling at 100 km per hour on State Highway 6 have to keep a close eye out and slow down for cars pulling out of this intersection. But this may change following a proposal by New Zealand Transport Agency to permanently reduce the speed limit to 80 km per hour. NZTA announced the proposal as means to improve road safety, but were moved into action following concerns raised by Tucker Beach Road community over this very intersection. So NZTA did have a really good response this time round. They are engaging with the community and they are working together with Quail Rise residents to ensure that the intersection behind me there is safe. Residents are quite happy with the results and they do hope that more will be done to make the intersection a lot more safer. Quail Rise motorist Kerry Dunlop welcomes the speed change and says it is a step in the right direction.
It's one thing to have the speed limit reduced to 80 kilometres an hour, which we're grateful for. It's another perhaps to make sure cars do only go 80 kilometres an hour.
He sprang into action last week, collecting 400 signatures to support the speed change. The community petitioned for a reduction in speed limit, which NZTA has responded to.
The other suggestion we had was to put an underpass under the existing bridge and a merging lane on the other side,
which NZTA has considered in the past but did not agree on. NZTA crash figures for the 2.3 kilometre section from 2011 to 2016 show 18 reported crashes, resulting in 3 serious and 13 minor injuries. Discussions between NZTA, Queenstown Lakes District Council and the community are likely to continue over the coming months.
In terms of the bigger picture, there's a bigger transport solution for the whole of the Wakatipu Basin in Queenstown, and this is obviously one element of that.
The public has until the 28th of March to make submissions on the change in the speed limit. Mina Amso, The South Today.
Names and dates carved into University of Otago Lecture Theatre desktops more than a century ago are providing a tantalising glimpse into the life of former students. Sections of the desktops will go on sale at an antiques and collectibles auction at Hayward's Auction House, Carroll Street, Dunedin tomorrow. Auctioneer John Moore says it was unclear what the carved panels would fetch. The items come from a deceased estate. A person had retrieved them from a skip after they were thrown out during renovations at the University Registry back in 1994. Now, some of the name inscriptions were dated in the 1880s and other in 1902. The carved panels are amongst 954 items for sale at the firm's first antique and collectible auction for the year. Fascinating. A nearly 3-year-long project to commemorate World War I soldiers is about to be unveiled to the public. Southland Heritage Month, well, that begins on Wednesday with the launch of an Invercargill Public Library website displaying over 300 letters from 4 World War I soldiers, and the archivists say it's been an amazing experience.
A World War I centenary tribute with a very personal touch. Hi, I'm Ruby Spink in Invercargill, outside the Invercargill Public Library, where the archivists have been hard at work transcribing the letters of 4 World War I soldiers. The website, called Since I Wrote You Last, launches tomorrow night. Rebecca Smith says it's been a long process.
It started with John Hall's letters and has evolved into 4 soldiers' letters, all from Southland, all from different areas. It involved transcribing every letter, so 307 letters, 1,700 pages. It involved digitising all of those pages, and the last few months it's been just getting it into our website and curating that and trying to make it user-friendly and trying to anticipate how people might use it and what they might want out of it.
The website holds transcripts and scanned copies of the letters, photo albums and timelines. Smith says as a source for primary information on the Great War, it's likely to have wide appeal.
I'm hoping that researchers and students in particular will take advantage of it. I've got a lot out of it just reading the letters, so I think definitely military enthusiasts or history buffs or just adults in general that just want to have a bit of a look around will find something out of it.
She says from reading this many letters, her and the staff members really got to know the soldiers and their sense of humour, which included jabs at their mates for getting seasick. So it's been an emotional process putting the whole thing together. I'm Ruby Spink for The South Today.
Fears have been raised that motorists might fail to recognise a council-installed 3D crossing in North Dunedin, potentially putting pedestrians at risk. The paintings create an optical illusion, appearing 3D to motorists while being flat to pedestrians. The crossing at the intersection of Clyde Street and Union Street East appears as if feet are walking underneath the zebra stripes, while the crossing north of the Leith River looks like rocks on a river. One very concerned local says the absence of traditional lines at the river crossing confuses motorists, with many failing to stop for pedestrians. New Zealand Transport Agency Senior Safety Engineer Roy Johnson says the river crossing is designed to slow people down and it meets the agency's requirements for courtesy crossings. Oh, I love a good mystery. A mystery surrounds a burnt-out, mangled car wreck discovered on a remote Otago bridge early yesterday. State Highway 87 at the Kokonga Bridge was closed to traffic as police tried to determine how the car came to rest on the railings. The vehicle was so badly damaged that the police cannot make out its registration or even its make. It appears that the car crashed into the bridge, but police would not comment on whether they suspected it was torched or it burst into flames upon impact. The occupants of the vehicle are nowhere to be seen when the matter was reported to police at about 4:30 a.m. yesterday. Alexandra Police would like to hear from anyone who was in the area on Sunday night or early Monday morning. Any information is gratefully received. Right, please stay with us because on The South Today, still to come, projected population figures. Well, for the South Island, it's a bit of a mixed bag, and being vintage is back in fashion, which is a good sign for us old fogies and for great cars.
Grandad loved his family and surfing, in that order. He taught me to surf, and we spent a lot of time in the water together over the years. When he died, I strapped the camera to the nose of his old board and filmed the paddle out at St. Clair. Gillian's played the video on the big screen at his funeral. Grandad would have loved having everyone come out one last surf with him.
Gillian's Funeral Services, helping families celebrate the lives of their loved ones for generations. Gillians.co.nz.
Here is this week's Mole Map UV report. Did you know if you tan easily or have dark skin, you're still at risk of skin cancer?
If you've ever been on a sunbed or been badly sunburnt, what are the chances you could have melanoma? Remove the doubt. Get a mole map.
Active Furnishers Limited, home of quality service with superior product and an in-house design team who are always happy to advise and create an imaginative solution for you. Active Furnishers Limited, part of Dunedin's design history.
If you've always dreamed of building a new home or renovating your existing home, make it happen. Go to the Home Show, 3rd, 4th, 5th of March at the More FM Arena at the Edgar Centre. Adults $10, children free. See you at the Home Show. They say the grass is always greener, but not if you have Ready Lawn. Call Ready Lawn today and make them green with envy.
The University of Otago New Zealand's only true collegiate university. For first-year students, the history, the expectations of excellence are...
Unfamiliar.
G'day, I'm next door.
Hi, next door. I'm Samantha Pascoe.
No, you're not. I'm Josh, Clyde, Science. And you are?
Sam, Hastings, Law and Arts.
Tane, Auckland, Commerce. Osaka, Greece, Classics. History.
Don't suffer in silence. Call Sunny Chin, Chi Master Body Technician, for structural, muscular, emotional bodywork. Phone 03 4250 606 for all your pain relief.
Silverhorn Active Manuka Honey from the natural Manuka forests of New Zealand. Buy 1 250-gram pot for $34.90 and get a second pot for half price. Order online at silverhorn.co.nz.
Arrow International knows what the essential ingredient is for accomplishing great projects, working with great people. 30 years on and 3,000 projects later, with 10 offices and 400 staff nationwide, a company who values partnerships with their clients and carries a strong reputation for passion, integrity, and the love of a challenge, excelling in the construction industry and helping to create, with our partners, more iconic New Zealand buildings.
From rare to the recent, visit the legendary Hard to Find for your quality second-hand books, with the largest stock in New Zealand and a friendly book-loving atmosphere. For good prices, buying or selling, come visit 20 Dowling Street.
Gillians and Silverhorn bring you Rub of the Green, lawn bowls from around the south. Saturday night at 7, replaying on Sunday at 1 p.m. and Tuesday at 3:30.
Thank you for staying with The South today. Dunedin police have arrested a 52-year-old man in relation to the killing of a sea lion on Portobello in Dunedin Harbour on the 5th of November last year. The man has been charged with willful mistreatment of an animal under the Animal Welfare Act 1999. He is scheduled to appear in Dunedin District Court on Friday the 3rd of March. The arrest is the result of a joint investigation between Dunedin Police, the Department of Conservation and the Dunedin Sea Lion Trust. Well done. Right, for anyone concerned about the swimmability of Southland rivers, the Regional Council say they've got a handle on testing freshwater potential risks. This follows the Ministry for the Environment releasing information on the country's lakes and rivers, ranking E. coli and toxic algal events as code red, code orange, code yellow, green and blue in order of risk on an annual basis. Environment Southland, however, tests key swimming and fishing spots weekly and monthly. The Director of Science and Communications, Graham Savicki-Jones, says it's best to check the Regional Council's website before heading to the waterways for a more up-to-date look at the water conditions. The Gore district was slammed with vintage cars on Saturday when the Gore Vintage Car Club had its 50th annual festival rally. To celebrate the milestone, organisers say people from throughout the Lower South Island bought vintage cars to join the rally.
Getting their motors running and heading for the highway, looking for a mechanic and whatever comes their way. Assistant rally organiser Dennis Knight has been a member of the Gore Vintage Car Club for 5 years, but is steering the event for the first time.
Yeah, well, it's been run by the club for 50 years. Personally, this is my first year. I'm just learning the ropes. Keith Dodds and Raywin have been showing me how to go about it, so yeah, I'm a bit of a learning curve. Yeah, but as a club, it's been going for quite some time, yeah.
Knight says the number of cars entered has nearly doubled for this event, which he puts down to the major anniversary.
Usually between 30 to 40 cars, but this year obviously we've pushed it a wee bit harder and got some people coming back who were on the original run and the locals of course supporting it, so yeah, being 30 cars would have been the average before.
Knight says 10 people who were on the original rally 50 years ago are on this run. He says the weekend's event ran smoothly, even for some of the older cars in the field. However, to qualify as vintage, cars need to be at least 30 years old. It might be time to dust off that early 80s Nissan. Daryl Baser, The South Today.
Well done. Stay tuned, because The South Today wants to bring you a story that's not just a simple dispute, it's actually a serious matter, and it's playing out at your local supermarket. The Etu Union are still fighting for workers' rights against the corporate beast of Mondelez. Also, tomorrow's ODT and your weather.
Dunedin is recognised by UNESCO as a City of Literature. Find out how this came about and what it means for the city. In Dunedin, a City of Literature, 7 p.m. Sundays. Proudly brought to you by Hard to Find Books.
Here is this week's Mole Map UV report. Did you know, in recent years, the number of New Zealanders dying from melanoma has been as high as the road toll?
If you've ever been on a sunbed or been badly sunburnt, what are the chances you could have melanoma? Remove the doubt. Get a mole map.
The University of Otago, an institute of world-class education and the social epicentre of the city, with outfits needed for more formal functions like the ball and for less formal functions like
the zoo. Are you sure?
Yeah, trust me.
Yeah, Dad, you'll definitely see me. I'm the one in the yellow and blue face paint and the onesie in the zoo.
Ecrotech Limited have been supplying beekeeping equipment and honey products in New Zealand for over 100 years. A specialist manufacturer of hiveware and plastic products for the beekeeping industry. They are the leading supplier of beekeeping equipment nationwide. For all your beekeeping needs, visit ecrotech.co.nz or call 0800 11 7766.
Hi, welcome back to Alex Campbell Menswear. We're filming again from our Mosgiel store. We're having a 3-store wide sizzling summer sale. It's the end of the season. We have sizzling prices in short sleeve shirts, polos, shorts, jeans. We've got specials in trousers. It's a sizzling summer sale.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
It's a sizzling summer sale.
Here is this week's Mole Map UV report. Did you know, in recent years, the number of New Zealanders dying from melanoma has been as high as the road toll?
If you've ever been on a sunbed or been badly sunburnt, what are the chances you could have melanoma? Remove the doubt. Get a mole map.
Garrador Dunedin, delivering quality stylish garage doors in Dunedin for over 15 years. New doors, replacement doors, repairs and maintenance are all part of Garrador's quality service. Garrador Dunedin offers a full range of modern quality doors to suit any home. Come visit the team at 553 Kaikoura Valley Road. Visit www.garrador.co.nz or call us on 488 5676.
Get finance and get on the road. Talk to MTF today.
Thank you for staying with the South Today. The Central City New World supermarket was the target of a protest over wage disparity at the weekend. The protesters' aim was to draw attention to the difference in pay between supermarket workers in the South and in the North Islands. As Roselle Labone reports, Unions Otago is claiming that shareholders are refusing to commit to closing the inter-island wage gap.
The protesters at Centre City New World say supermarket workers in the South Island receive $2 less per hour than their North Island counterparts. Unions Otago called on the supermarket owner Craig Nieper to meet with union representatives to settle a new agreement lifting pay rates and improving conditions. The union says in the last financial year, Foodstuffs South Island Cooperative made a $362 million gross profit.
As we negotiated or initiated bargaining with Foodstuffs South Island last year with several stores. Dunedin Centre City was one of them, New World. We entered into a bargaining day with them, and the employer didn't want to bargain. Now New World Centre City and all the New Worlds, they are part of the cooperative with Foodstuffs South Island. Their $362 million that they've got is the profit for the cooperative.
An email forwarded by Unions Otago to the South Today shows its request for a meeting with the supermarket owners was declined.
Unions Otago also wrote to him asking for a meeting just to say, look, a lot of our union members shop at the store and you know, with different unions. He again was very quick in replying with a one-liner saying he wasn't prepared to meet with anyone. So I don't know his reasoning behind that.
Mr Nieper said New World Centre City is currently engaged in good faith bargaining with First Union, and he was unwilling to carry out this process in a public arena. Roselle Labone, The South Today.
Consultation begins tomorrow on the proposed Cadbury closure. ETSU union organisers met with union members at Cadbury in Dunedin ahead of consultation talks with Cadbury's management on Thursday. There are 3 meetings on site at the Cadbury's plant. The meetings are to report back on events so far, to go through the consultation process which lies ahead, and to answer any questions that members may have. Information gathered will also inform discussions as consultation gets underway on Thursday with Mondelez management. Stay tuned to the South Today for more. Dunedin Deputy Mayor Chris Staines has welcomed a move by the Otago Harbour Ferry Incorporated to seek a leasee to operate the historic harbour ferry, the Elsie Evans. A leasee would remove the danger that the vessel could be lost if the not-for-profit organisation tried to run the service itself and incurred significant debt. The Incorporated Society began advertising the lease on social media on Thursday. About $500,000 has been spent on the restoration, and Society Chairman Shem Sutherland says offering the lease was a significant development in the overall project. The $12.9 million Elsie Evans was the only vessel of its kind in New Zealand and has a very positive potential. Well, let's quickly recap tonight's top stories on the South Today. The NZTA is proposing a permanent change in speed limit on a section of State Highway 6 between Frankton and the Lower Shotover River, prompted by concerns. A nearly 3-year-long project to commemorate World War I soldiers is about to be unveiled to the public in Invercargill. And mystery surrounds a burnt-out, mangled car wreck discovered on a remote Otago bridge early yesterday. Well, it's only early, but it's a busy old time for the ODT. What's in tomorrow's paper?
We've got a stack of news tomorrow. We're lucky to get it all in, I guess. Tonight, as we speak, the meeting's about to start down at the hospital tonight for the consultation meeting about the future of Dunedin's hospital. So I imagine there'll be quite a big crowd then. We'll have all the coverage of that tomorrow.
Oh, good indeed, because that affects a lot of people. A lot of people.
Big talking point in Dunedin, isn't it? And especially we're not going to get much say on what happens down there by the sound of things.
Right.
There's quite a big package, we call them packages in the newspaper world. Housing issues in Cromwell, in Central Otago.
Indeed.
People living in garages, accommodation shortages. So that problem, which has been a national problem, is getting closer to home. So we've got coverage of that tomorrow. There's some discussion about Fletcher's might be setting up on the old Carisbrook site, which is a very positive story for Dunedin.
That's a very positive story.
Yeah, so good to have some good stories rather than some bad stories. We've also got a story about a penguin that seems to be most unlucky. It's had several scrapes, shall we say, with predators, and it's been repaired and it's being set free again to see if it can survive in the ocean.
A lovely fluffy
nice
animal story.
Yeah, another fluffy animal story. And lots of other stories as well too. So
okay, a big edition?
Yeah, it is, yeah, tomorrow.
Yeah, because we've got a big news week ahead of us this week, a very big one. Thank you very much indeed.
No trouble.
All right, stay tuned. Here comes tomorrow's weather.
This weather update proudly brought to you in association with Silverhorn Sportsville.
Starting with today's Southern View, taken of the backside of the Robbie Burns. I wonder if he's got words for us. Looking at the situation, that big delicious high, well, it remains and it will stay put for a while, giving us the lingering silage of clear skies, fine conditions, so the halcyon days will persist. Late week, that might change. To the outlook, Balclutha, and this is part of a boilerplate for pretty much all of us. Light winds, fine and 23. Across to the Catlins, to Gore, to Balclutha, get outside. To the central Otago, Alexandra, light winds, fine and 25. Would you look at that? Te Anau, light winds and 20. Queenstown, 23. Wanaka, 23. Look, it's just beautiful. Be outside. To the north, off we go to Oamaru, light winds, fine and 19. Amarama, light winds, fine, 24. 21. Timaru, 24. And Twizel. This is it's like I'm reporting summer. In Dunedin tonight, look, it's fine, it's lovely, it's 7, but it feels like 10. Wednesday, fine and sunny again, light westerlies, mild conditions. Look at those numbers, 7 and 20, and for Thursday, 11 and 20. It is good weather. In Invercargill tonight, it's fine, beautiful conditions, clear skies, fine, 5 degrees, feels like 9. Thursday and Friday, fine and sunny again, light winds, mild conditions, 7 and 20. Look at that, 10 and 21 for Thursday. What the heck are you doing inside? Get out there. Buy a kite. All right. That's Tuesday. Go on, get out of here.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.